Live deep in the heart of West Texas, it's the James Hendricks Show. SIB. Half my talent tied up just to make things fun. Hello, guys. As you know, we were taking a break from the news because it's Fearless Faith Friday. That's right, we're taking a break from the news to cover some things about faith. Because, well, I understand that this is a political show. But I think we get so tired of this reactive culture, we need to talk about some matters of faith. Okay? Give me just a minute, I will be back to give you some insights on how to keep the faith. Now, you know, as ministers of Christ, it says this in, I believe it's 1 Corinthians 4, where it talks how ministers of Christ keep the faith. And I think really the heart of that, as far as keeping the faith, is first believing in the Lord, and then stepping into a covenant relationship. Now, we can talk every day about the news all we want. But I don't know, I know some of you are probably tired of the same old news cycle all the time. So we need a break. Now, can I have a little personation? You remember Brent Clark? I'm bringing him back tomorrow because of the weekend edition. But we're talking about keeping the faith. And why do we need to keep the faith? I want you to think about it. Do you want to keep godless socialism in control? Where Big Brother has control? Or can we stay strong in our faith on the macro level? To where we stand strong for our convictions regardless of who's in control of Washington, D.C. Okay? I want you to think about this. Toward the end of Joshua's life, Joshua 24, he said this. Okay, he said this. Listen to me. He said, choose you this day whom you will serve. But this is what he said. This is what he said that means the most. Okay? This is an admonition that he is giving to Israel. And this is an admonition that I am giving to America today that we urgently need it. And this is what Joshua says, and this is what I say. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. We will serve the Lord. I remember back when I was going to college, I was on occasion part of my church's Promise Keepers movement. And that was one of the theme songs, was, as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord. Now, right now, with my mother being gone, I'm kind of a household of one. But it doesn't matter. I am called to glorify God. Sure, I give, 5 days a week, I give news insight to you guys. But it's nice to have a Fearless Faith Friday where we sit there and we talk about matters of faith. You know? You hear enough in enough days of the week about COVID-19 and vaccine and mask mandates and January 6th and Kamala Harris. You hear me talk about it, you know. Emperor Joseph, Princess Pelosi, Duchess Kamala, and Viceroy Fauci. You hear me talk about enough of those. But we need to talk about who's really in charge. Our King Jesus Christ. We can be a kingdom of priests and priestesses for Him. For Him. And so that's why I'm giving this Fearless Faith Friday. I believe the American dreams can still be alive. I believe that we still have potential. But, plain truth here, guys. You want potential? You need to keep your faith. Seriously. You need to have daily private time with God. You need to keep in the Word of God. You need to go to your house of worship, as it permits. And don't buy into the mind control and this reactive culture. Don't buy into that. Because we, as conservative federalists, we can shape the culture. We can shape the culture for God. We can turn things on fire if we are. Okay? We all know our history. I love John F. Kennedy, don't get me wrong. But he dropped the ball when it came to prayer in schools. And sadly, because of that, the Lord withdrew protection from him. And it's been a decline ever since. And that's why we Christian Americans need to stand up and say, okay, no more. No more. Now, to me, listen to me. It mattereth not what political party you are. Okay? I'm hoping there's some conservative Democrats out there. But I think with maybe some rare exceptions, that's dead. Because since 1968, it has bought into this Marxist-Leninist thing. And so that's why we need conservative federalists to stand up and say, hey, we are going to stand up and defend Christianity in America. Alexander Hamilton said this, that man's sacred rights are not to be trifled with, because they're not just written on parchment or paper. They're written by divinity himself. Contrary to what these Marxists are saying, I'm willing to bet that Alexander Hamilton was a deeply religious man. Now, some people say that Alexander Hamilton said he was a Christian, but was nominally. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe these godless socialists who are saying that our founding fathers were atheists, agnostics, and deists, okay? When you have Alexander Hamilton saying that man's sacred rights are not to be trifled with, that tells me something. Okay? Let's look at abortion. You are breaking a man's right to life. The unborn's right to life, because it is a person. Woo, I made some people mad up in here. But I'm going to say this in my own heart. Folks, let's keep the faith. Let's try to keep in mind what our founding fathers originally intended, as far as our Constitution and legal system. I suggest you get a hold of anything by the historian David Barton. I love his historical insights. I think I'll get back to watching that at some point. But we need to know that America is a Christian nation with a history of faith. Okay? And so that's why I recommend that you watch David Barton, listen to his podcast. He has a lot of things to say. Now, I hope you enjoy listening to the James Hendricks Show. If you like what you hear, please subscribe, become a part of the Receiving Most Daily Updates. This is Jimi Hendrix saying until next time, take care and be proactively informed. Tomorrow, it will be for you truly, but it will be through a guest host. Get ready. Take care. God bless.